Hello boys and girls, welcome back. Today we're going to take a break from our vowels, our letters, our numbers, and we are going to look at our names. Now we looked at this last term, we started doing it, so we're going to look at it again and see if we can still remember how to do our first names, and if we can do our first names, then let's move on to our last names. Now, everybody has a special name. Is my name your name? Are you Mrs. Davis? No, I'm Mrs. Davis, and your mummy has a special name and your daddy have a special name. And if you have a brother, he has a special name, and if you have a sister, she has a special name. So let's look at everyone's name. Now, I know my class is made up of many students, and they all have a different name. Like I have Ashlyn, Aliza, Aria Naomi, Caleb, Chase, Daniel, Elike, Ava, Joshua, Jasmine, Haley, Erica, Emily, Max, and Micaiah. And all of those names sound different. Does Josh sound like Max? Josh? Max? No, they sound totally different. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at the special letters, because we know that letters make what? They make sounds. So we need to look at the letters that are in our name to find out how to write our names. Now we have been practicing our vowels, and we've gone through the whole animal alphabet, so we should know how our letters sound like. Okay, so let's get into it. This first activity you're going to need, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in half. On one half of the paper, you're going to fold it and make a little pocket for our name. On the fold, you're going to write your child's name in a nice big font so they're able to see it. And then on the other half that you have cut out, you're going to write the letters in their name and cut out each letter individually. Now, allow them to try and match the individual letters with the one that's already on the fold. For example, my name is Mrs. Davis. I need to match the D with the D, the A with the A, the V with the V, the I with the I, and the S with the S. Your turn. You have to try and match your letters with the ones on the fold. Great job! Once you have done that and they can do it independently, you can try doing your last name to get them practicing their last name. Now, once you have done that, we are going to move on to another activity, which is again reinforcing their name recognition. And of course, if they have mastered their first name, let's move on to their last name. So what we're going to need for this one is we're going to need covers and markers. Or you can use the same individual letters that you have cut out for the first activity for this one. So what they're going to do is they're going to have to rearrange the covers or the letters or the card so that they can organize their letters to spell their name. For example, I need to find the first one that says D. That's the D. Now I need to find the one that says A, Davis. Great job, the letter A. Now after D-A comes V. After the V comes I. And the last one is S, Davis. Great job. Now it's your turn. Can you spell your name using the letters on the covers? Great job. Now, of course, again, if they have mastered the first name, let's move on to the last name. And we can practice that as much as you like throughout the week. Another activity that is similar to this is an activity with clothes pegs. So you will have the individual letters written onto the clothes pegs, but some people don't want to use all their clothes pegs. And you have to match the letter that's on the clothes peg to the one on their name and match it like that. So what I need you to do now is you are going to do a tracing activity. Now we know which letters come after and before. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice writing it now. Mom and Dad are going to need to do dotted lines of your names. So what I would recommend is drawing 2 lines an inch apart. Once you have drawn those 2 lines an inch apart, you are going to dot their name using a pen and allow them to trace it. Now, make sure that when they're tracing their names, they're starting from the first letter and continuing in the right direction. Don't allow them to miss a letter, and question them while they're doing it. Ask them, what's the next letter you're going to trace? Are you going to trace the D before the A, or are you going to do the A before the D? Ask them things like that so that they become more familiar with their name. And I'd also like to remind you that we're using lowercase letters when writing our name. I know that some already know how to write their name in full capital letters. We're trying to practice in the first initial letter being capitalized, of course, and the rest of the name we're trying to get them in common lowercase letters. Again, take your time. It's not something that is going to be done instantly, but I would recommend taking your time with this. Once they can trace it and recall which letters come next, give them all the letters except the last letter and let them fill in the last letter. If they get that correct, give them all the letters except the second 2 last letters. And do that all the way until they can do it independently. Don't have to do it all at once go. If you would like to do it over a period of time, feel free to do that. Those are different activities that you can do to practice their name recognition and the individual letters that are in their name. Of course, sound it out if they have an easy name that can sound out. I know some are easy. For example, Max, axe. If they have silent E's in them or they have double letters, it might be a little more difficult, so they would need to practice and practice and practice. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you tomorrow for our live session. Bye!